Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are continuing our coverage of Super Bowl 48. Right now we're talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's given us great insights all football season long. All of our regular viewers are very well familiar with him by now. And right now we're going to just do a quick video on the weather. Right now it's Thursday afternoon, so we have a pretty good feel for what the weather's likely to be on Super Bowl Sunday. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. Now, it's Thursday, right? For the first, week and a quarter after, the Super Bowl matchup was announced, everyone was freaking out about the weather. They were like, oh my God, the weather, it's going to be, freezing cold with winds all around. Look at the weather report now. It's fine.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Looks like at kickoff it should be in the 40s. Now the game starts at 6:30 local time, which means in the second half it could dip into the 30s. So people who really think weather is going to be a factor, if they really think the cold's going to affect it, you might want to consider that it will be a little warmer in the first half than it will be in the second half. But now it looks like a fairly normal Super Bowl Sunday, as if the game were being played outdoors in the South, because, this time of the year in Tampa, of course, it's usually warmer, but those southern cities, Miami, et cetera, it can get into the 40s this time of the year. So it looks like weather will not be a factor. And as you mentioned, as I've always said, when it comes to weather, people think too much about precipitation. It's more about the winds. But the last I saw, they're only expecting about 8-mile-per-hour winds. So weather's probably not going to be much of a factor at all after all.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. So all the people, worrying about the weather in the beginning, they were all like global warming deniers. But I believe in global warming, so I knew that it wasn't going to be as big of a deal as people were making it out to be.
Yeah, well, climate change definitely exists. Well, you and I can debate how much it has to do with normal changes in the climate that are always going to happen over the years and how much it has to do with human beings. But it's crazy. A friend of mine was joking, because anybody watching this probably realizes we've had an ice storm in Atlanta, and a friend of mine was joking it's a good thing that they're having the Super Bowl in a warm weather city of New York rather than having it here in Atlanta. It's been crazy, but at the end of the day, it does look like that weather will be a complete non-factor unless in the next 48 hours there's a drastic change in the forecast.
No, I mean, I'm from New York, so maybe global warming's not happening in Atlanta, maybe, but I know for a fact it's happening in New York and in Costa Rica, where I live right now. But all right, so basically we're going to have normal weather, a normal game here. Do you think that, earlier in the week or last week, you gave the opinion that you kind of like the under. Now that the weather's looking a little bit better, do you think that that changed your opinion a bit on the total?
No, but I will say, if people have not bet the under, it's probably a good idea to wait, because I do think that the total is going to go up. Remember, I said that I actually believe the total will be more affected by the weather forecast than sharp money or whatnot. But I do think that now that it looks like weather's not going to be a factor, I wouldn't be surprised if people start betting the over a little bit more. So I would say bet the under, but wait until closer to game time.
All right, then what about what's your comment on all this talk? Everyone's talking about it ad nauseum about Peyton Manning in the cold weather. Now we're seeing that it's not going to be that cold. It's going to be a little cold, 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. So is Peyton Manning still going to be like, I can't pass in this weather, I need it to be warm? Can he, play at maximum effort in 1 degree Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius weather?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it always helps to be experienced in cold weather, but we've discussed this before. I said that as a classic example of inductive reasoning versus deductive reasoning. The truth is, he hadn't played that much in cold weather because, again, his home games for years were in a dome in Indianapolis. So if he had been drafted by, say, the Buffalo Bills, the New England Patriots, the Green Bay Packers, where Brett Favre was known to be a great cold weather quarterback, Tom Brady's known to be a great cold weather quarterback. Not really. They're just great quarterbacks who are playing a good number of their home games in cold weather. So I never believe that at all. But, maybe the fact that Peyton isn't super experienced in playing in cold weather, probably if you're a Bronco fan, you're glad that it's not going to be all that cold. But at the end of the day, it was not going to affect my handicapping much if it were simply cold weather and not windy weather.
Okay, that settles it. Thanks so much for all your thoughts on this. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com.